Welcome to Liverpool fans. Today we've got the latest updates of your beloved club Liverpool. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of breaking news. Let's get started. Liverpool could yet emerge as one of the more active clubs in the January transfer market, with growing indications that the club's attacking options are under close review. While results have improved slightly in recent weeks, there is a clear sense that the forward line lacks depth and explosiveness, particularly with injuries and international absences stretching Arne Slot's squad. Several attackers have been linked with a potential move to Anfield, and the profile of targets suggests Liverpool are looking for pace, directness and goals to boost the second half of the season. One of the standout names is Bournemouth forward Antoine Semenyo. The Ghana international has enjoyed an impressive Premier League campaign, registering 8 goals and 3 assists, and his release clause of around £65 million is seen as a realistic route for interested clubs. Semenyo's power, speed and ability to play across the front line make him an appealing option for Liverpool, who have sometimes lacked penetration in wide areas. However, competition is fierce, with Manchester City and Manchester United both monitoring his situation, meaning any move would require swift and decisive action. Another player on Liverpool's radar is Brighton winger Yankuba Minteh. The Gambian youngster is already familiar to Slot from their time together at Feyenoord, and his raw pace and fearless approach have caught the eye in the Premier League. Minteh is still developing, and this link feels more likely to materialise in the summer rather than January. But Liverpool's long-term interest reflects their strategy of targeting young, high-upside attackers. His admiration for former Red Sadio Mane has only added to speculation among supporters. Perhaps the most intriguing name is relatively unknown to the wider Premier League audience. Franchelino Jew has been making headlines in Denmark, where the 21-year-old striker has scored an astonishing 21 goals this season. The Guinea-Bissau international has attracted interest from several elite European clubs, including Bayern Munich, but his reported valuation of between £22 million and £26 million makes him an affordable option compared to more established stars. Liverpool see him as a potential winter opportunity, a player who could add goals immediately while still offering long-term value. RB Leipzig forward Yanda Diomanda is another highly rated talent linked with a move to Anfield. At just 19, the Ivorian has already shown his quality in the Bundesliga with 6 goals and 2 assists, operating mainly from the left but capable on either flank. His performances, combined with his involvement at the Africa Cup of Nations, have only increased his profile. Any deal would be extremely expensive, potentially exceeding £80 million, but Liverpool view him as a possible elite-level addition for the future. Alongside potential incomings, Liverpool are also reviewing their current attacking resources. Harvey Elliott's loan spell at Aston Villa has not unfolded as planned, with the midfielder making only 7 appearances so far. With an obligation to buy clause linked to appearances looming, Liverpool are believed to be exploring whether a return to Anfield could be arranged to provide short-term cover amid injuries to key forwards. Any recall would require agreement from all parties, but Elliott's versatility could offer Slot an immediate solution. Liverpool's injury list has been a major factor in these considerations. Cody Gakpo has been sidelined with a muscle problem. Alexander Isak faces a lengthy absence following ankle surgery, and Mohamed Salah is away at the Africa Cup of Nations. These setbacks have highlighted how thin the squad has become in attack, increasing the likelihood of movement in January. While no deal is guaranteed, the number and variety of attacking names linked with Liverpool underlines the club's awareness that reinforcements may be necessary. Whether the Reds opt for a marquee signing, a value opportunity, or a temporary internal solution, the coming weeks could prove decisive in shaping their season. Liverpool's search for defensive reinforcements in the January transfer window has taken a fresh twist, with Arsenal defender Ben White emerging as a potential target amid growing uncertainty over his role at the Emirates Stadium. The England international has been linked with a possible move to Anfield after falling down the pecking order under Mikel Arteta, and former Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy believes the situation could open the door to a surprise switch between Premier League rivals. White has struggled for regular minutes this season following a busy summer at Arsenal, where the club brought in several new signings to strengthen their squad. As a result, the 26-year-old has made just 5 Premier League appearances so far and 13 outings across all competitions. While he remains a valued member of the squad, his reduced role has inevitably fueled speculation about his future, particularly with the January window now open. Liverpool's interest comes at a time when the Reds are dealing with significant defensive issues. The long-term injury to Conor Bradley has left Arne Slot short of options at right-back, and the growing list of absentees has increased the urgency to add experience and versatility to the squad. White fits that profile well, having proven himself as a reliable performer at both right-back and centre-back during his time at Arsenal and previously at Brighton. Speaking about the links, Danny Murphy suggested that a move to Liverpool would make footballing sense for White if the opportunity arose. He acknowledged that Arsenal may be reluctant to strengthen a direct rival, but stressed that the player's own stance could be decisive. Murphy argued that if White were determined to leave in search of more regular football, Liverpool would represent a far more attractive destination than other interested clubs, given their continued involvement in the Champions League and domestic competitions. Murphy also highlighted White's experience and physical presence, noting that despite some recent injury problems, he remains a high-quality defender with a strong understanding of the game. From Liverpool's perspective, his ability to slot into multiple positions across the backline would be a major advantage, particularly during a demanding second half of the season. However, Arsenal's position appears clear for now. Reports earlier this week suggested that the Gunners have no intention of selling White in January, despite interest from several clubs. Arteta has publicly emphasised the importance of squad depth and rotation, pointing out that Arsenal face a relentless schedule with matches every few days until the end of the season. From his point of view, White remains an important part of a group competing on multiple fronts. That stance does not completely rule out movement, especially if the player himself begins to push for a change. With limited minutes and the European Championship on the horizon, White may be conscious of the need to play regularly to maintain his place in the England setup. Liverpool's current situation could therefore present a compelling opportunity, should Arsenal's resolve soften or negotiations progress later in the window. While much of the wider Liverpool transfer talk has focused on attacking targets such as RB Leipzig winger Yan Diomande, the potential pursuit of Ben White underlines a more immediate concern for the Reds. Defensive stability and depth could prove crucial if they are to maintain their push for a top-4 finish and progress further in cup competitions. For now, any deal remains speculative, and Arsenal hold the upper hand. Yet as injuries mount and minutes remain scarce, the possibility of Ben White forcing the issue cannot be entirely dismissed. With the January deadline approaching, Liverpool's need and White's situation ensure this is a story worth watching closely. Liverpool's January transfer window continues to generate speculation as the club balances short-term caution with long-term ambition, with fresh updates emerging around Yandandi Mande and long-standing defensive target Mark Guehi. With the deadline on February 2nd approaching, the Reds have so far limited their business, making just one confirmed addition in the form of 18-year-old Moore Talande,